Hello everyone, welcome back to Roll. I've got an idea in mind for what we're going to try today, and it's not going to be fewer than 50 dice, I hope. So hopefully today we'll get a little bit more in volume than we've used previously. But you know the deal by now. The first thing that we have to do is build up a die for scoring, and that's going to involve building up to a 97 on our first die. But how are you guys doing? How's your week been? If you are watching this on Sunday morning of October 30th, it might be an hour earlier or later than you expect it to be, because literally at 2 a.m. UK time on Sunday morning, our clocks go back from 2 a.m. to 1 a.m. for daylight savings. So consider this your warning. The time frames of everything is changing a little bit, and so that will include the Sunday morning rolls, the 5 p.m. roguelikes, and eventually, when I have some more time, the 8 p.m. puzzles and the 2 p.m. D&D games. The new Solasta Crown of the Magister DLC comes out on, I think it's November 14th, and that's going to introduce monks and warlocks and bards, which should be an exciting time. I'm excited to, now that I've played the main two campaigns through, I'm excited to play some of the campaigns in Iron Man mode, where if you get a game over, that's it. You're entirely screwed. You have to start from the very beginning, like actual tabletop D&D. And I'm thinking I might do that first with just a party of all warlocks. Now, if you don't know about anything about D&D, the only thing you need to know about warlocks is that in D&D, you can take a short rest or you can take a long rest. Most classes that use spellcasting can only cast so many spells before they have to rest. And most classes get their spell slots back when they take a long rest, usually a night's sleep. Then you wake up refreshed, ready for the day. Warlocks, basically, for most of their life, can only cast 2 spells a day. But if they take a short rest of an hour, they get both of those spell slots back. So you can just kind of basically spam short 1-hour rests everywhere you go, and always have your 2 spell slots ready to go. So if I have a whole party of warlocks, I might be able to abuse that a little bit to see how far I can make it without being able to game over once. So I'm looking forward to that, but that's not for a couple of weeks. But on that week, the week commencing November 14th, I do have that week off, so I'm looking to get a bunch of gaming in done then. Very excited. And then, of course, it's just going to start getting colder and darker over here in England. So, all the more reason to stay inside playing video games, right? Okay, we are nearing 97. I'm going to grab that. I'm going to grab these re-rollers whilst they're being presented to me at the time where we're generating the most money on this die, given that our one big face is now exceptionally large. We're going to re-roll. I feel like we're at a very low number of rolls already. Hopefully that doesn't come to bite us. This is not great because we need to make 97. And we can't make 97 out of these numbers. So instead, I'm going to opt to make... Let's make 92. Then we can get a 5, or a 2 and a 3, or a 1 and a 4. Super. We'll upgrade that shop. I'm actually going to buy a 1 here, stick it on that 6 to make a 7. Then nothing on this tier of shop that I particularly want, so we'll race up to shop tier 3. I will buy 7 over there as well. And now we have the ability to buy new dice and get all of the reasonable upgrades that we want. So, let's look for a base multiplier for our 97. 3x will probably have to do, I think. then normally I would look for a re-roller for all 6 faces here, but we've got 4 of the faces done already. But I do want to get to at least one face with all 97s on it before we start building out everything else. So let's upgrade again. Get access to our passives. I will buy a +1 for the 6. Alright. Buy one get one would be incredible, but I think 20,000 right now is too much to pay. Equally, I would like a shop refresh generator, but until we get our die of all 97s really popping off, it's going to be too many rolls for what you're getting at this current moment. I'm going to stick a 5x there. Might be overstretching to get this 10x. But we've got it now. Right, I really want to see a set all die faces now. Good passives, but not anything that is going to really benefit me right now. I will take 6 times reroll in triplicate for this center die. The previous shop would only give you 6 times 1 or 6 times 2. Then it's going to be expensive, but I'm going to invest in 500% value for numbers less than 13. Then with that in play, I'm going to buy 2 plain dice. I'm going to get a shop refresh adder. Start loading those up on there. A +2. I'll stick it on there. We can move that 7 off to our new empty die in a minute if we get the opportunity. There's a set all die faces. That's great. So we'll set that on our 97. Now we have some decent actual scoring. So let me buy 5 more dice, because to get what I want going, we're going to need a decent chunk of dice. Eventually we'll want this 100 die bonus. Is it going to be cheaper to buy it now comparatively to later on, I wonder? Probably wasn't. That was a lot of rolls to get it, but it's bought now. It will do its thing later. 4-leaf clovers are paramount to this strategy. So I'm going to stick one here. Then I'm going to take prime numbers, get a 3. I should have shop weighted the clover, but never mind, too late now. I always forget to look for shop weights before I buy stuff, and then I regret not looking harder. Right, I'm going to take buy one, get one. Then I'm going to take set all die faces, and I'm going to set this to all 7s. I'm going to set this to all 7s because we've already got 2 there. I can harvest one of those. Now, we currently don't have any benefit for having the clover next to 7s because we don't have the passive that makes that better yet. So that's not a bother right now. Let's buy a shop weight for... It has to be a non-passive, right? I have to purchase a shop weight, the next item purchased from the shop, which is not a passive ability. So we can't make BOGOs appear more frequently. But I'm going to buy a +6 and put that on a 1 to make a 7. Because what I want to do is I want to make a great big grid of every other dice being a 7 and every other dice being a clover for a great big web of 7s and clovers. I'm going to buy Scavenger. Going to be reasonably expensive, but the thing about getting all of these ones is all of these ones are actually worth 5 to us because we have numbers less than 13 are worth more money. I will buy an incrementer die for 1 just because it's a cheap individual die. Factor 50 multiplier we don't care about because we're actually going to try and get to more than 50 dice today. Now, because we don't have an individual die that we're trying to very specifically focus everything to border, we don't really have as much value in trying to put attached multipliers just on everything. So I'm going to hold off on doing too much of that too soon. We don't need a 5s bonus because we're trying to get to exclusively 7s, not 5s. I will buy just a plain die and a cheap die. We can move a 7 off of one of our harvesting ones onto a separate die, and then we can set all die faces on that later. Fewer than 6 face, I don't worry about. Another super cheap die, we'll buy it because buy one get one gave it to us for free. I'm going to get a 6x2 attached rollers going for our shop refresh adder so we can get more of those later. Let's buy no 99s bonus. It might make something cheap and free for us later. We will have to get rid of the incrementer dice doing its thing later. Can't believe this didn't become free. It was the one thing I really wanted to become free. 2x, stick that on here. If I can make one really, really good die, then I wouldn't mind cloning that die a little bit, but that's a hard thing to pull off. Since we're being presented it for free, I will stick you on there. And we'll move that later on. Shop refresh adder. Yes, please and thank you. Yeah, the incrementers will eventually get to 99x, so we need to be aware of that. When runs are rolled, all faces and die in a run will be incremented twice. Definitely don't want that. That will destroy a bunch of our 7s. I'll take 5 more dice, though. Fewer than 6 die, triples. I'll take the triples bonus because we have all these 1s that can be worth so much more. Then I'm going to stick this here with the arrow on it. Tell you what, these incrementer dice, I will just put random faces on to stop the numbers getting to 99. That'll basically do me no harm. And I'm wondering about putting weights on the clovers that we buy. Not that we've seen many yet. Rather than worrying about the no weights bonus. Because we want the clovers to be hitting as frequently as possible. We've got no spare 7s anywhere individually, so we'll start harvesting from this one. I'm not going to worry about trying to get to a square number of dice eventually. I will buy this to hope it makes that free. It did not. Right, a +6 can go on there to make 7. Don't need any of the rest of this particularly. Doubles we don't really need because we have triples for all of our 1s. Our 7s will get the benefit later. Another +6 is lovely. I'll grab 2 more dice. So numeric only multiplier will be great in the late game, but at the moment I still want my shop refresh adders doing their thing. Really not seeing much in the way of clovers and the like. We do not have a shop weight modifier thing, but I will buy a set all die faces. And we'll just pick a random 7, I think. Has to be a numeric value for those. I'll buy a die of 77s as well, sure. Since it's so cheap. That's lucky lottery rerolls, which I'm not interested in. No weights, plus 100% bonus. Fine, we'll buy it because all of the weight, all the ones will be worth double. Cleanse shop doesn't help me. Here we go, shop weight. After purchasing a shop weight, the next item purchased from the shop, which is not a passive ability, will be more likely to appear. So, we have a decision to make. Do we buy set all die faces so we get those more frequently, or clovers so we get those more frequently? I think to start, we'll worry about set all die faces, but given the chance later, we'll then move into clovers. I will, of course, buy this clover. And am I going to put it on this die to have a die full of clovers that I might then clone? Or am I just going to intersperse them between stuff and then try and use weights and glue? We'll try and use glue. So let's stick one there. We could lock a die, but I'm not that interested in locking just a plain regular die. Like a die all full of 1s, a die with one of our clovers on it. A die of all 7s, just so we have more dice of all 7s later. There's 300 rolls for that face. If we don't have any particular rerolls or weight structure on those dice, I don't think it's just worth it for me carrying out what I'm trying to do here. Also, I'm just bad at dealing with the whole locks and keys and all of that stuff since the strategy largely changed in an update a few months ago. Right, 1,350 rolls remaining. Get a settled die face we don't have. Oh, we do have a shop weight. Grab that first. Then grab this. They'll be super likely to become apparent. No clovers, obviously. I'll buy that die, though. And I'll buy that die. I'll bother to buy a 10x, since it's the largest one. Right, shop weight, but nothing I really want to put a shop weight onto. Numbers less than 13 get 1,000% bonus is massive for us. We definitely want that. We'll buy that first because we would like to see the other stuff become free from buy one get one. I will buy run reroll just because it's cheap. We can have it out of the running. Let's buy a 10x because that's the most expensive of these interesting things. We'll see if we can't get something else to be free. Didn't happen. Fine. I will move off one of these 7s over to there. I'm going to glue down Clover, and eventually I hope that we'll get a passive reroller. Die of random numbers, a half incrementer die. I'm going to forget to deal with all of those by the time it comes round to having 99s on some of our dice where the incrementers are slowly climbing. But more settled die faces is a lovely thing to see. These things aren't getting cheap though. Nearly clicked the one by mistake, but by holding down the mouse button, you can drag away from the target face and then it becomes less of a concern. What is really good here is we can take another shop weight and we can take a face swap here. Swap off a 7 to an empty die, and then we're more likely to see those swaps as well, which is something that we need. I will take cheap dice. I'm not going to worry about the 10x modifier here. I will buy a clover. No shop weight for clovers, unfortunately. So let's stick that there. A face swap lets us pull a 7 off of here onto here. I should be giving a little bit more consideration of where I'm building 7s versus where I intend to build clovers, so I don't have to worry about moving stuff later. That's just me being lazy at this point, which I know is a bad habit, really. We've asked for it before, and I have no idea if it's coming in the next update. But I would love to be able to like have a button that you could toggle, and then it would just alternate the colors of the dice. So it would be just like blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red. So you have a grid of colors, so it becomes very evident which ones you're working towards one strategy versus another. I might as well buy the cheap free 4x. Get on there, and the 2x is free as well. Don't want this, that would break our strategy. Run multipliers, we're not working for runs today. Shop refresh multiplier can go on the shop die. Then nothing here I want particularly. I'll take 5 more dice though. Not too expensive compared to the number of rolls it takes to get there. Another clover. So we got clover, not clover, clover, not clover, clover. That's working out okay. Now I don't know if 2 clovers can impact the same number 7, or whether I should worry about having a clover surrounded by 4 and then 4 surrounded by a clover, so that they're kind of double staggered or not. But for now, I'm just going to put this clover, not, clover, not. Clover, not, clover, not, clover. Let's do that. I would really like to get to a passive reroll. That's going to increase things for us massively. There's lucky 7s, so that's the thing that we've been waiting for to make this whole thing pop off. Additionally, numeric 7s and 77s are worth 77 times more when orthogonally adjacent to a 4-leaf clover. So that's what this strategy has been working up to. Currently, it's not exactly a clean execution of what I was picturing, but there's only so much we can do with what we get given. Do I have a 6 sitting around somewhere? There's one there. There's a 7 right here. Take that for free. Obviously, eventually we'll want to upgrade to the next tier of shop. We did take no weights 100%, didn't we? Yes, so we'll bother to take no weights 200%. I will take another shop refresh adder. Anything else? I will take a free 4x. Stick it on just a face somewhere. I'm gonna... Oh, that's consecutive dice, not incremented dice. That's fine. Square numbers, we're very unlikely to be on square numbers very frequently at all. Another buy one, get one. Sure, we'll invest in that. A shop weight for something. buy a Shopway onto another Shopway. I don't think that's worth doing. Alright, is it time to think about going up a tier of shop? Have we accidentally created any 99s yet? You're an incrementer die, you're an incrementer die. I don't think so, but we want to make sure we don't do that too soon. Let's set all of you to be 7s. I'll take 100% for no 99s for now. I'll take a glue for another clover. Then I'll take 2 free dice. I'll take 1 free die. Removes all present and passive future passive abilities. Reduces the shop prices by that. No, I do not want that to happen because that would destroy our clover strategy. Alright, let's upgrade the shop to the highest tier just as we come towards the halfway mark of our rolls. Cleanse shop. Removes all shop weights everywhere. Any item affected by a shop weight that is currently in the shop will have its cost reduced to 1. All future shop weights will be more effective. Every shop weight purchased makes this item more likely to appear. Can be purchased more than once. Don't think I want that particularly. Do I want dice, dice, dice? Whenever a new die or dice are created, create an additional standard one. Sure. Is that awfully expensive? Not terribly. So if we buy this 77s, we get the 77 die and a standard 1 through 6 die. I'll stick that on there. That die now is no longer making numeric things. You get a multiplier. I don't want incrementers. I don't want incrementers because I will forget about them. 6 times reroll in triplicate is something that we want. I would like to just get all of these dice rerolling passively if possible. Standard die generator can come over here to this incrementer die. I don't want 99 die generators. That's going to break stuff. The cost of 1, I might as well move you out 1 more row. Numeric multipliers times 50 is, again, something we're going to want, but I want shop refreshes more at the moment. I don't want to cleanse the shop. I would like to find some of these really important passives. We'll settle faces. We can definitely do one of those. Anything next to a clover that has a 7? Yes. Single group effect. We have way more than one group effect with all of this stuff. That's lottery stuff. That's Dyrus stuff. I saw one of my lovely commenters wanted to see a Dyrus run, so maybe we'll try and do that in the future as well. I'm not even sure I remember how to make that whole thing work, but I'll do my damned best. Let's keep destroying these incrementers with non-numeric faces. We're all good for shop refresh generators now, I think. We can clone a die. For 160 million, I don't think we have anything specifically that is worth cloning as it is. Oh, you're an incrementer as well. You butt. I regret ever buying the incrementers. They're going to screw me over at the end of things. Tell you what I'll do. I will buy shop refresh adders and put those on incrementers. Mail-in rebate. When a die rebate gains a rebate, it will not pay out immediately. Instead, it will accrue all rebates over the next 100 rolls. After 100 rolls, that amount accrued will be multiplied by 100 and paid out. Well, we're not playing with rebates, so not something to worry about. Come on, show me reroll passives. That's what I really want to see. If the total quantity of dice in play is greater than or equal to 100, the value of all dice will be increased by 300%. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh wait, isn't there a place where I can see how many dice I have? There you go. Rolled 63 total dice. So currently we have 63 dice, and it highlights our 3 best scoring dice. So I'm going to buy this now, and then soon it will come into play and it will be very useful. Set numeric values is great. If we do this on an incrementer die, it will stop the incrementers, which is one way to deal with that as a problem. But I think if it's only these 2 incrementer die that we have, you know what, just get rid of that. That way I can stop thinking about it. And it was this one, wasn't it? Fine, I'll stop thinking about you two. At least 17 is prime, which is nice. Numbers less than 50. Prime numbers. I don't want 99 face generators. I don't think I have any more active incrementers. I think I'm okay. Oh, you. You're incrementing. Fine. Even bonus is definitely not something we need. The value of reroll dice will be increased by 100%. That is something that I would love. I would just love to get the dice re-rolling better first. How many million is this? 174. We got to 20 million reasonably quickly, so 174 doesn't seem like the hardest place to get to in the world. Add a standard die. Shop weights, again, 18 million for set all die face. We really are going to need a lot of these. Numeric 7. Lack of clovers is the bigger problem, I think. Need to work on getting rid of these. Clover! It's like the game knew. But honestly, I would really love a passive to get rid of a bunch of my reroll problems. Right. Where am I putting this clover? Stick it there. I really should have put more thought into the grid earlier on. Right, I don't need any of that stuff desperately. If you have 50 dice, all dice get 200% extra value. We do have at least 50 dice. We're working up to 100 dice. That all die faces. We'll do that 7 next to that clover. Free 5x. Stick it on there as well. Top 3, I don't think is worth it when we're working with so many dice. That's not rerolls, that's increments. Set another die anywhere to be 7s. Show me a 7. That's a 7. I might need to worry about making more 7s at this point. I'm running out of just plain old opportunities to settle die faces to 7 out there. Speaking of which, +5 can go on a normal 2 somewhere. Make a 7. I don't think I need these to be any more prevalent. I'll take a +2 on a 5 somewhere. Make a 7. Set all die faces. The 7 we were just speaking of. I don't want big spender. Thanks very much, game. Kind offer, but no. Glue? Any of our clovers not currently glued? You. Yahtzees for 500%. We have so many 1s and 7s that will be worth so much more with Yahtzees. We're starting to create dice from our passive die generators now as well. Another way people make extraordinary numbers of dice in games, but unfortunately I've not been focusing on that over just trying to worry about the general structure of everything that I'm making. Where's that last incrementer die? Like half full of weird crap. There it is. Right, I think we shouldn't get to any 99s anywhere now, which is good. Numeric values times 50. I think we could probably worry about trying to take that now. Let's take 10 more dice first. That's 10 more opportunities for 1s to be worth 13 plus, or 15 plus Yahtzees and stuff. Grab that. We'll make something 7s if I can find one. There's one. I will move a 7 off of somewhere to somewhere else. Alright, I would really, really like to see universal free rerollers now. I'm going to worry about that over other stuff immediately. Numeric reroll chain would be great, but I need the rerolls first. I don't think we're going to get to 1,000 die bonus on this one. Come on, show me a universal reroller. There's no 99s reroll twice. It's that or wait to find no brain. That or wait to find no weights reroll in triplicate, but I don't think we can be that precious about it right now. Oh, that was so much cheaper than I thought it was going to be. Alright, well, now we should be on for a lot more value, a lot more quickly, which is great. +4 on a normal 3 here makes a 7. Right, now we'll just take anything that looks remotely useful or interesting to us. No idea what I even think our final score might get close to here. Passive Hunter, numeric reroll chain. We will now take that we've got big rerolls occurring frequently. Screw it, let's take Passive Hunter while we're generating cash at a really fast rate. Honestly, I could take some of this stuff, but none of it's super important now that we have the other stuff that we need. Now I want to just find really good passives until we can then worry about getting more clovers. Did we get dice times 50. Is that why our score started ballooning so much? Yes. Numeric only times 50 would probably be why we're having such success now with generating a lot of points really quickly. Stick a clover there. Probably not the best place for it, but I can only do so much. That's lottery rerolls. Back to 50 we don't need. Runs we don't need. Top 3 I don't think I want. I'm not really sure what else I should be doing apart from just really trying to finesse the clovers and the 7s, but I feel like I've done such a bad job of it so far. Prime numbers rerolled in triplicate sounds great for all the stuff that isn't rerolling in triplicate yet. What was I saying? Apart from the net of 7s that I did a really terrible job of setting up off the bat, I don't think there's too much more for me to specifically be doing, so I feel like my bad middle game has cursed my end game. Also, still haven't seen reroll in triplicate. Oh, there it is. Well, how long does it take to get 5? Is that 5 trillion? I'm going to regret this, aren't I? How did we get to afford reroll in duplicate so fast? And yet, I don't even know if we're going to be able to afford reroll in triplicate universally. Problem is, 7 is a prime number, but 1 is not a prime number. So 1 doesn't reroll thanks to the prime number bonuses. Double your highest die would be great as well. But do these get double the value of one of these? Looks like no, because this die is valued at 2.551 billion. This die is 2.672 billion. So this one's next to 2 clovers, but doesn't do it any better than being this one next to 1 clover. Yeah, what I should have done back when we had like 25 dice or 36 dice is really worried about the size and shape of the grid a lot more than I did. And I'm just generally better at working with the really small number of dice, as you've seen through the other videos that I've made. But, you know, I tried something. It didn't go great, but I can't complain. I had fun. But for now, that is going to be everything. We did not even get within a gnat's wing of our giant current high score. But for now, thank you guys ever so much for watching, and I will see you next week at your slightly modified time zone because of UK daylight savings time versus the rest of the world doing slightly different daylight savings times versus some of the world not doing daylight savings time at all. But for now, thank you ever so much for watching. Happy Halloween, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.